Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pete Shinnick. And, Coach, Tigers traveled up to Villanova this past Saturday, a team that is fighting to get into the FCS playoffs, a team that was on a four-game winning streak and whose offense had put up 93 points the previous 2 weeks. So you knew you were facing a team that was rolling, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Most definitely. And, I mean, I think we saw bits and pieces of what their offense is capable of doing against us, but we knew that going in. And, we talked about that last week as to what type of challenge they would present for us. I felt like if we could have done anything offensively in the first half, could have changed a little bit of the momentum that was taking place. I reminded our guys in our team meeting on Monday that, guys, 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the second quarter. I mean, we're down 10-0. We're still in this and we're battling. And actually, when they hit the second long pass, it was 2nd and 16. So we weren't playing terrible defense. We weren't, hurting ourselves. And then obviously the big pass, the second big pass of the game, that hurt us. And then our offense's inability the next time when we got the ball to not get a first down, when I felt like we had options, we had people open that we could have taken advantage of. And then they come and give them credit. They did their 2-minute offense right before half. Executed extremely well. We missed a tackle on the last play there where I felt like, we get that tackle, probably could have forced the field goal. So we knew their offense was good. We knew that we'd have to, play minimal error-free football. And I thought for a while there we were. And then last couple minutes of the second quarter, 14 points that really, I think, hurt us a lot.
Their wide receiver, Pringle, coming into the game was averaging 26.5 yards a carry, and he had 5 catches for 180 yards this past week. How does a guy like that get open every week? Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't just you. It's every week.
No, I think we helped his average a little bit by a couple of the balls that we gave. He's just really good adjusting to the ball, number one. But then he does everything in bursts. And so if you looked at his deep shots, you didn't know if he was going to run a post. You didn't know if he was going to run a slot fade. You didn't know if he was going to run right by you because of how he sets things up. And he's fast with a wiggle. And so he really gets you on edge because when you're standing back there saying, I got to cover him, I better be right. And he's going to do enough to make you wrong. And then he's also very good at the underneath stuff. We saw him catch a couple underneath and then get yardage after it. It does make me feel good that, he's done that against other people, not just us.
Everybody
no, looks like. But, I felt like, we're 6 inches away on 2 of those to completely change the type of game that he had. But credit him. And credit, their quarterback for being able to find him, trust him, because a couple of those balls were perfect. He's running flat out full speed, and they just drop perfectly into his hands. So, great combination there. They've done very well together. I can see that combination causing a lot of people problems in the playoffs because they're one play away from being back in the game.
Your offense really couldn't get anything going in the first half. Chris Watkins with a great run in the second half, 75 yards for a touchdown. Was it anything that they were doing that kind of boggled you guys down?
I think their D-line did a nice job against us, just kind of stuffing us a little bit. Playing without Ralph Page at the center spot didn't help us. Dan Volpe went down midway through the second quarter, so to be out 2 starters on what I think has been a very, very productive offensive line, I don't think that helped us. With that being said, we had opportunities, though, and we had, shots that I think, could have been connected on. And then simple stuff that we have done, Spiro, that's helped us move the ball. We got to take that 5-yard, pass to Daniel Thompson, let him knife up and, get 7-8 yards. And now all of a sudden we're sitting at 3rd and 2. We missed a couple of those on 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9 that we had done. And I think you look back at what made us successful at William and Mary and at North Carolina A&T was sustaining drives by getting some of those 6-yard completions that turned into 8, that turned into 10. And, we were just off a little bit. I think it's as much credit them. I think they presented some things that Nate wasn't comfortable with, but then it's also we didn't execute at the level I thought we were capable of.
All right, time to move on. Final game of the year at home, looking for that first home victory, and it would certainly come at a great time to get you back to 500 in the conference, taking on a Rhode Island team that had FCS playoff aspirations when the season started. It hasn't gone the way they wanted, although they are 6-4. I don't want to scare you, but I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. In their 10 games, they've scored over 30 points 7 times. Yeah. This is a good offensive football team.
No, very good offensive football team, and really their offense has been as explosive as I think anybody we've seen. And so, I think we've seen really good wide receivers the last 3 weeks, and this group is probably the best that we've seen. Their quarterback has been around for a long time. And
he's been around as long as me, it seems like. Casey Hill, former Maryland player.
Yeah, I believe he played in 2017 as a freshman at Maryland. So that's some years right there.
And 3 wide receivers with over 500 yards.
Yeah, no, and so you really can't say, hey, we're gonna modify things to take this away from this guy or that. They do a really good job, and then as they've gone, they've just continued to get better at what they do. And then, sure enough, last week, their running back goes for 200 yards, and so they RPO you really, really well. He does a great job of reading it, getting the ball out. You're going to see some balls thrown in short or small windows that he's very confident that he can get the ball there. Their running back, I think, like I said, ran for 200 last week. He's running very powerfully right now. And so this offense could be as explosive as, anyone that we've seen. And, again, we're going to have to be on point.
It's McKenzie averaging 7.2 yards a carry. It's amazing. In 3 of your last 4 games, you're playing teams that have running backs that are averaging 6-7 yards a carry. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. But I think his average got jumped tremendously
last week.
Yeah, 20 for 200. So he did a great job. But he's still he's a thick, powerful back. He's a lot like number 7 for North Carolina A&T, thick and powerful, which, we did not do a great job wrapping up and corralling him all the time. So we're going to, we say we swarm to eat on defense. We're going to have to swarm to eat quite a bit to get him down to the ground.
This week, big week for your seniors because it's their final go-round. And, you tell the freshmen it's going to go quick, and they don't believe you. But then when they become seniors, they figure out, boy, it really did go quick.
Well, it does, and I mean, just and I'm going to stay away from naming names because I don't want to miss someone through the process. But give this senior class just a tremendous amount of credit. When they came here, I wasn't the coach, and they figured, hey, this is my future. I'm going to be playing for this guy, and me and my staff come in and. They've been great as far as, buying into what we're trying to do and wanting to see the direction that we're trying to take this program and how we do things. And so very pleased with them. They're going to be missed from our staff standpoint because they've just been, great to coach and great to be around. And we want to be able to honor them, obviously, the right way, senior day, that type of thing. But send them off with a great victory would be the ultimate way to have them play their last game in Johnny Unitas Stadium and get that victory.
And that will happen this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Ben Rosenbaum and Gordy Combs will have the call for you on Flow TV and Monumental Sports. Coach, it's been a pleasure all season long, and we'll be doing it again soon.
No, look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, and thank you all for tuning in. That's it for this edition of the Tiger Football Report. For head coach Pete Shinnick, I'm Spiro Marikas. Have a great week.